Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days, chapter 212, Shin's mission. Last we left off with Sakamoto Days, a lot of stuff has been going down, specifically with the Order. Shishiba, I think his name is, right? I'm not mistaking that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Shishiba has defected from the Order and has taken the Buzzsaw Blade lady. I know I've been Osaragi and the sniper guy whose name I definitely don't remember right now. Have all left the Order and are making their way to oppose X in some way, shape, or form. We don't know if they're actually going to join Team Sakamoto, but they've escaped. And we are cutting back to our heroes at the Sakamoto Days store. Sakamoto is looking on at the damage done to his store. It's been exploded by enemies. And he is just paralyzed with fear after the thought of potentially losing his family. And we get a little flashback to a few moments earlier where Sakamoto is not influenced, but he volunteers to stop the city's citizens from rampaging, helping Team Sakamoto, who's going around town and preventing people from killing each other as best they can. And Sakamoto volunteers to go as well, but everybody's kind of ambivalent to let him go because he may not have it in him right now. And his teacher guy is just like, "You sure you can?" And Sakamoto's like, "Yes, I want to protect the city." So they all go off and they do their thing to peacefully remove the guns from people. They're citizens that all just point their guns at Sakamoto, and before he could move, he gets just like a memory of the store exploding, and he can't move his body. At which point, Shin comes in and uses his telepathy to cause everybody to shoot him instead. And they all do that. They all shoot him at the same time, but he uses a manhole to block the guns. So that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
And Shin is even surprised himself. He's like, "Whoa, did I just hijack multiple people's thoughts?" And yeah, so the citizens are neutralized in the moment. Sakamoto is still kind of trembling on the ground, and he's thinking about, he's like, "I'm sorry, when I try to fight, my body just shakes and freezes up, and my mind goes totally blank." And he is super duper traumatized. And Sakamoto is like, "I'm wrong. I was wrong. I should never have lost my knack as an assassin. I have to get it back." And that's when Shin breaks in and is like, "No, Mr. Sakamoto, you didn't lose anything. You found something even more important. Being afraid to lose people doesn't make you weak. It's the path to making you even stronger." And Shin assures him that he hasn't forgotten the plan to build a chain of Sakamoto stores all over Japan. So Shin is like, "Leave this part to me. I'll protect everyone until you're ready, Mr.
Nice.
Sakamoto." Very cool moment for Shin. I would like to say so. And we cut over to the Okutabi Science Lab. He goes over to the scientist guy that used to help experiment on him. And he goes to him to ask if he could power up his ESP to a mind-blowing level. And he's like, "Yeah, can you do that, mister?" And the scientist guy explains that when you hack people's thoughts, you're basically sending a specialized electrical signals. Theoretically, if we could pick up your brainwaves precisely and tune them, and rebroadcast them to a widespread area. And they're just like, he's like, "How fast can we make this happen?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days." And Shin is not happy about that. And he's like, "Look, I'm a scientist, not an engineer." And that's when we get a familiar face coming in. Kashima pulls up, and he's like, "I'll help." And,
Yeah.
and
my guy.
yeah, deer head. And he's like, "I've been looking for you, guy." And I've been looking for you guys. The scientist is like, "Who do you think you are, you son of a?" And the Kashima explains that at that time he had a different sense of justice, and he apologizes. He wants to put an end to the madness because X is abusing his power as an outlet for his personal feelings, and a lot of innocent lives are being sacrificed. That's a far cry from my idea of justice. So, yeah, he joins in the fray, and they get to work on trying to figure out how to do this thing. We then cut over to Shin, who is standing atop a radio tower, and this they seem to have figured it out. They wired a bunch of stuff to his brain, and he has like a giant megaphone. And the scientist guy explains that this is going to place a colossal burden on Shin's brain. And Kashima says, like, if you start to feel weird, don't push it. But Shin says, crank it to maximum output. And they do so. And Shin puts the megaphone up to his mouth, and he explains everyone. He gives the command to everyone holding a gun now, right now, point it at the ground and let it rip. And that is where the chapter ends. Will it work? Who knows? But let's see what Josh thinks of Sakamoto Days, chapter 212.
I like this chapter a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I just I don't know. I just wonder about certain things. I'm really glad it was stated that Shen didn't forget that a chain of that they want to build a chain of Sakamotos because I thought that the author forgot. You know what I mean? But it seems like that might be the overall goal, if not end goal of the series, like to get to a point where they open these chains.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, they had to, obviously take out the assassin, colonies. And, if they're all under X, this kind of streamlines the situation. So it's kind of the same thing. Instead of going to the various JSA headquarters around the world or in Japan or whatever, yeah, they're all in Japan, then instead of that, it's just all centralized towards X and the people that's working under him. That's cool. Simplifies it, in my opinion. I wonder what these repercussions for Shen are going to be. Is he not going to be able to use his ESP for a little while? What is that going to mean for the story? I mean, it's already been said that he's at his physical limits, so it's not like it's going to be an excuse for him to improve combat wise without his ESP. I don't know. I thought that was pretty slick to tell everyone to shoot at the floor, but I have a feeling that X is going to have something to say about this. Mm-hmm. He's going to be like, no, you guys didn't really mean to do that, so I'm going to send you guys some more bullets because that was cheating. That's not that I would do any of this, but if I was in his shoes, that's how I would probably go about it. Yo, fuck that.
Yeah, you totally would.
Even if they all really did, even if they all really did, you like do it off their own free will. But like, I would still send them all bullets. And be like, look, rules changed again. Now you got a whole clip, and then if you don't shoot somebody, I'm gonna smoke you by the end of the week. Personally, have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good plan, Josh.
I don't know how to take that, but
it's a good plan that you personally thought of and would do if this was you.
I mean, it would never be me. I would never go through these lengths.
Of course not.
Not these specific lengths, anyway. I don't care for his goal in mind. He wants assassins. He wants a killer be killed world. Fuck that. I'm good. I want to live in a regular society and shit and buy things I like without being murdered.
Yeah. I too would like to buy things I like.
Or just go go do things I enjoy. I don't know why I said bye, but just do things I enjoy without the fear that an assassin will slice my hands off if I, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I did something wrong, or if they felt like it. I would have to become. I don't want to be an assassin. I'm good. Anyway, Brian, what were your thoughts?
I feel like the plan of having everybody shoot the ground is kind of dangerous. Not gonna lie, because like
Ricochets?
yeah, like bullets could like ricochet, like millions of shots ringing out at the same time could really deafen a lot of people too. Yeah, pretty crazy. What about the people who don't? What about the people who have more than 3 bullets in their guns? Like that, just like police officers, or like, are they also gonna shoot into the ground?
He said let it rip. So anybody who has a loaded gun would unleash all their bullets, probably.
Damn, that's gonna be crazy. Some cops are gonna just be unloading into the ground for like 30 seconds.
I think cops in Japan don't have guns.
What, they just have batons?
Yeah, I think like they regularly don't, like in normal situations, cops don't carry guns.
Doesn't the cop from Dandadan have a gun?
That's my, yeah, I guess so. Let me see. Let me Google that actually, because I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Hey Siri, do Japanese policemen have guns?
Yes, they do. My bad. I guess I misunderstood.
Here's an answer from rebellionresearch.com.
Rebellionresearch.com says Japanese police are discouraged from using their firearm. They cannot carry their firearm when they're off duty, but they do have a gun.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess that's in England then. I guess like the UK doesn't have, because I know there was one.
Siri.
There is a police force that does not carry guns.
Do UK policemen have guns?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
The majority of police officers do not routinely carry firearms. Yeah. Routinely, they say.
That's the routine. That's basically everyday cops don't have guns.
They have sword fights in the UK.
Bankai!
Yeah, to show up to like when there's a robbery at a bank, they show up with a bankai.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
No shoplifting.
Yeah. Knife work is crazy.
Were those all your thoughts on Sakamoto days, by the way, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I like this chapter a lot. I thought this was a cool moment for Shin. I didn't think of this as a possibility, so I thought it was really clever. Clever use of Shin's powers. So I hope it works. It would be nice. I feel like it's not going to work for the whole of Japan, but I feel like their town is probably going to... It'll work for their town, and that's about it. At best, if anything. But I thought this was a smart plan, and I'm glad it came from Shin, considering that, like, you know, this is just a continuation of his character development from the prison arc. Good shit.
Hey, I have a question for Brian. Do you think Shin would play tank well? I mean, look at this situation. He pulled up on his teammate Sakamoto and attracted attention. He got the other team to aggro him, and then he absorbed the damage with the shield.
Yeah. Sakamoto got stunned by the thing, and then Captain America came around and blocked all the damage.
Is Captain America tank in Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, he's a tank.
Yeah.
And one might say that he's the greatest tank.
He what?
Yeah, he's a dive tank specifically.
One might say that he is probably the coolest guy who's ever existed.
I would not say that.
Studies show.
One might say that. One might say that there is no other character in the game that can match up to the GOAT status of Steve Rogers. Everybody says
He is the best character in the game, arguably, right now.
he's always been from the start.
Oh, well, I don't know meta, but I know some things right now.
No, I'm kidding. People thought he was ass at first, but they are stupid and dumb. They are not smart like me.
They are stupid and incorrect. My takes are the only takes.
True. So true. God damn it. You're so right.
Yeah, but those are all my thoughts on Sakamoto Days. I thought this was a really good chapter. Not really good chapter. I gotta stop saying really good chapter. There's only one really good chapter.
Really
good
chapter.
But this is a pretty good chapter. We gotta have tiers. Maybe we gotta have tier system.
I thought about that.
The RGC is the top. A really good chapter of the week. And then we have a pretty good chapter, which is our second place.
Mm.
The third place is what?
I thought that we can make an effort to rank them ourselves. You know,
We only cover
some
4
type of
series at a
voting
time these
system.
days, so
Yeah, it would just be up. Yeah, you know, like that. Just with 4. Yeah. Anyway.
all right. Well, I guess that's it for
Sakamoto Days.
Sakamoto Days.